Hello. We're properly live now. We're properly alive.
Good afternoon.
It's not afternoon.
What time is it, Benny?
At least 6.
Is that after the time colloquially known as noon?
No, it's like evening.
Oh my god.
The sun is setting. It's in my eye. I can't
I
see.
say good
it's
evening,
past noon.
like Bram Stoker's Dracula.
What? This
Good
is day
evening.
2. This is day 2 of our game showcase for winter 2022. Today we'll be having a bunch of other people, the developers of every single game, to come and join us and talk about their game.
Oh yeah, heads up, if you're, I think we should also put this in the Discord, but if you are someone who has signed up to be with us, who's to talk with us about your game, 5 minutes at least before your scheduled game, hop into one of the All Years Discord voice calls, and we will drag you into the streaming call.
Not us, though. Not us, though. Someone else's.
Someone will.
Someone will. Not us. I don't.
Wait, what? Why isn't it us, Benny? I thought
because
you were,
Discord is completely muted because of streamer mode. At least on my end. Every single time someone on our team like pings me to look at stuff, I can't see it.
I think I'll probably be able to drag people in.
Probably.
Let me see. Yeah, there's Kalen.
Yeah.
And there he goes.
Also, just realized I have another thing to set up.
All right. We are going to be starting in about 2 minutes. Not going to. Wow, we went from 12 viewers to 7. I guess people lost interest.
I don't care.
Oh, now we're down to 6. Oh.
Hang on. I need to look for stuff. I don't know what I'm looking for. Yeah, not this. Not this. Not this. This one. Okay.
They got offended by the noon comment? It's fair. That's valid, actually. I should. I'd like to issue an apology to noon.
To noon?
The time. You ever think like noon is one of those words that I get stuck on sometimes? You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like a real word. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss word when you think about it.
Why a Dr. Seuss word?
Just because it's goofy. It's very onomatopoeic or whatever. It just sounds like it was written to sound funky. You just added a browser source.
I did. I added what? Yeah, on my end. I added in a Discord overlay because we have people talking.
Noon just like it's a word that just sounds like it would be like it would be one of those fancy Star Trek words.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We can start.
It's like we're gonna
we can start.
Noon. All right, we're
we
gonna
can
drag
start.
Kalen.
Hi, we're already in Tabletop Simulator.
Yes, we are. We actually, we did some pre-gaming for this. We set up, we structured. Kalen.
Hello.
Welcome. Are any of your co-devs going to be joining us today?
No, it's...
No. All right, well, we'll have to 3-man this. So, I will really quickly read the preamble to this. This is Star Matter, a tabletop game made by a group of first years. We've got Kaylin Hutchinson from our very own GDS, Robin Mikariak, Ben Portmanche, and Eric Hackney. I probably messed up Ben's name pretty bad there, but it is French in my defense.
Yeah, it's French in your... That's your defense? That it's French?
No one can actually pronounce French words. Let's be real here.
I remember Wazo.
Oh no! I've clicked the button on my computer that makes things go bye-bye. This is described as a board game involving territory, control, and strategy. Now, we did, before we got here, do a quick read over of the rulebook, Kaylin. So as we understand it, each player is in their corner, and they start with 4 tier 1 units, and you can upgrade your units using the in-game currency.
Yep.
And you have to move your units to the center area to try to contest this central mineral. And every turn that you are on a mineral square, you gain a point and 20 points to win, correct?
Yeah. That's,
each unit has different... The one thing we were confused on is how many crystal points do you start with?
Like, Like the currency?
Yeah, the things that you spend to upgrade and to buy new units.
You don't necessarily start with any,
Okay.
but you have this like generator in your corner already that you
Mhm.
sort of just passively get like
One per,
one
yeah.
per turn.
Okay.
So can you occupy that generator to get 2 per, or is that not doable?
No, because it's just
Just
in
not that
your
one? Okay,
in
so these purple ones you can occupy though.
yeah.
So these blue spaces on the corners are portals.
It's your
These
Pac-Man. It's your Pac-Man tunnel to go
Yeah,
to the other
basically.
side
Yes.
of the board.
These purple ones are generators. So each turn you passively generate 1 income, which you use to buy things. But if you occupy one of these, you gain 1 extra. Um, each player can move 6 spaces across any of their units per turn, and they are able to attack or upgrade as much as they can through their currency. And you keep track of the score through these. Units are ranked tier 1 through 3, and their health when they battle is the same as their tier. So if a tier 1 attacks a tier 1, they both do 1 damage to each other. Tier 3 attacks a tier 3, they do 3 damage to each other. They basically have as much hit points. So if a tier 2 hits a tier 3, the tier 2 will die, but the tier 3 will stay with 1 life left, and you use these little damage tokens
Yeah.
to keep track of that. Just making sure I got all that clear.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
And again, that workshop link is in the Twitch chat if anyone wants to check this out. It's a really well-made game, looks like. All right, do we want to really quickly, while we have time, try to play a round of threes?
Yeah, let's try. I'll be
If
yellow.
we have time, I know the games when we like play tested it.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever managed to like finish a game in any of the
How many points do you
in-class
need to win?
play tests.
20.
20.
Okay, let's cut it down to like 10 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even
how far
that,
we can go.
like, I found that like it just takes a while to like get going, but
It's
like
your
once
it's your
people start
classic
getting-
RTS.
Yeah, basically, that's sort of what this is. This is an RTS game.
I'm going to be red. Let's start with Kaylin, because Kaylin is the youngest. And let's just get started. Show us how it's done, Kaylin.
Sure. So I believe if you actually look at the rules, there is also somewhere in here. There's rules about unit merging that I can't find in the rulebook, but anyway, it's in there somewhere. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play as blue. So I'm gonna merge these 2 tier 1 units
Mm-hmm.
and get a
I mean, get rid of green.
speeder guy.
I'm gonna play green.
To
Okay,
death.
so that's how merging works. Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna send him. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Back.
Yeah, so speeders get 2 free turns, 2 free moves per turn.
Yeah.
So Kaylin used up. I mean, technically, he could move another thing if he wants because he gets 2 free spaces.
I am gonna move this
Cheater,
guy.
cheater, 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 cheater,
Yeah.
cheater. He's cheating. Ref!
It's counterclockwise. Do you get your points now?
Yeah. So that's what the counter was here for. This was originally a like bingo scorecard, but because when we ported it into tabletop, we figured we'd just put like a counter.
Yeah, keeps things simple.
Yeah.
All right, Betty.
It's counterclockwise.
Counterclockwise. I don't know how to do things counterclockwise. That's like the opposite of the way clocks work. All right, I'm gonna copy Kaylin because that seems like a viable strat. It's this one, right?
I didn't grab the one currency that I get.
What is this? This is the jet. No, where's the miner? I'm gonna do the miner right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna go there. Take that, and take this.
That's what I was gonna do.
The end of my turn. Whoa, Benny, we're so in sync.
I'm making here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get 1 to start with, right?
At the start of your turn, yeah. You don't get one. You don't get one at the end of your turn, do you, Kaylin?
Yeah, you get it at the start of your turn, as well as the end of your turn, I believe.
So
I might be mixing up like previous versions of rules that are just not here, but
well, you decide.
like Occupy
at the end and start of
yeah,
your turn.
end start.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay, so that means I get 2 more, because
same.
my boy... Look at how much energy we have, Benny.
I know. We're ticking up. All right, I'm done now.
So is it 2 tier 2s to make a tier 3 as well?
Yes.
Okay.
The expensive ones.
Gotta check what these guys do.
What's your favorite song by Seether?
I don't know
what
who that is.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, it's just a band that I happen to know the name of. I know nothing about them.
Okay. Is it my turn right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on, Kalen, this is your game. Keep up.
That's fair.
I'm
gonna
just bullying.
get one of those. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna buy a guy. These can go back. I'm gonna merge him into. Okay, that was just sit over there, I guess.
I
merge him
double.
into a miner and move him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I double my cringe output.
Get in there. Okay. And that's my turn.
Wait, do you not get a point?
That I do.
What, Benny? You're just throwing at this point.
It's your turn.
Oh, it's my turn, not Benny's
classic
turn.
board
I
game
always forget. I
whose
always
turn
forget.
is it?
I'm so used to clockwise. It's just the better way to play, I
You
think.
just gotta rethink how you think.
So it's 2 to buy a unit, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Or it's double their tier.
Yeah, basically.
Buy this. I'm gonna buy this. And that gets rid of 4 of these. And then I'm gonna combine these two.
You could have just bought. Never mind.
No, that would be worse.
No, it's 4 currency. It's the same.
Okay. However.
Okay, that's fair. No,
Yeah,
you still
no,
could have done the same thing. Oh, because you used the 2 in the middle.
However. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, Benny.
Oh, I can't believe this.
We both die.
Can't believe this. What is this?
1, 2, 3. I think I get 3. Yeah. Okay. And then at the end of my turn, I get 2 as well. It feels so good to be king. I swear to God.
Hates to go last. All right. 1.
Benny's just cheating. He just wanted to go
2.
last. You heard it here, folks. He admitted it.
I'm combining. 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you kidding me?
I feel like this game is pretty well put together, to be honest. I remember when I did the tabletop stuff, feeling like a lot of people's games were kind of like, sort of like half finished. And like the idea was there, but then the rules didn't really mesh with it. But I kind of like how this is playing out. Once you understand the rule books, it flows pretty simply, which I quite like.
Yeah, a lot of the like assets that we used for this were actually made like really early on, because the first version of this was actually in like a checkered grid, and I was like, no, this is horrible. I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, you got to go for the hexagons, man. If you don't do the hexagons, what are you even doing?
What made you What made you make the game just limit to like 4 players instead of having more, or possibly just having 2 or 3?
Partially just the limitations of like the map, and I guess like having like the locations of like your like spawn location be tied to like the map. So we could have probably made like multiple maps, I guess. But we just stuck with one. So
yeah. Probably for the best, to be honest.
Yeah, like it's very dependent on the map.
Yeah.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn, yes.
Okay. I'm going to just move this guy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and move this guy into the middle for 6. And take my. How many currency? That's 1.
You've only brought him closer to me.
3, 4. Oh, there we go.
I do feel at a disadvantage. I've been sandwiched between two people, and I'm last.
I just realized I only pulled 2, but I should pull 3. It's my bad. All right, now it's the start of my turn, so I do 1, 2. It's 3, correct? Because I got a 2 here and a 1 here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I was worried about. And then I can upgrade a unit at any point, right?
Yeah.
What's the upgrade cost again? So it's 2 to upgrade, right? It's two tokens to upgrade.
Oh, you mean to like upgrade an existing unit? No,
Yeah.
you can only like merge them. So if you want to upgrade it, you have to merge 2.
To upgrade a unit, we spend 2 crystal tokens per tier upgrade. All right, that must be just old rules. That's fine.
Maybe, yeah. I didn't work on the this specific version of the rule book, so I
Gonna throw your team under the bus like that.
I'm probably like confusing old rules with new rules all over the place.
2. I fight you, Kalen. We both die.
Oh no. Okay.
Alright, I use 2 spaces there. So I'm going to spend 2 of these. No. I'm going to spend 4 of these. And get another boy. And he's going to go 1, 2. That's free. And then I move 2. So I have 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Perfect. And now I get 1. 2,
did you ever get the chance
3,
to playtest this in like in person, or did you only ever build
yeah,
it in tabletop?
We actually had 2 playtests in person. We were able to do that. Yeah, I mean, obviously it was still just us sitting in like the lab on computers just next to each other.
Hey, that works. I mean,
and I think Nick actually played this one too. He liked it, so.
5-minute mark, by the way. Upgrade cost is a 4. Matt, you're not. Someone's DMing me about upgrade costs. I think Kalen knows better than you, Matt.
2, 3. All right, I'm done.
Next is Mitchell. I'm assuming that's who's in the Discord, but I don't really know.
But yeah, that's always really nice to be able to playtest board games. I remember playtesting and just having a lot, and I mean a lot, of just cards that
yeah.
just
Oh
pieces
my
of
god.
paper.
Yeah.
So many cards. we did because we did. There's another board game that you're gonna have to do to start a second year. Well, I guess it's not like a board game. I think it's like a card game for data or something. And my team, because we have so many good artists, we just made so many cards. So many cards, dude. We had like 93 cards in the deck at one point. We're like, we need to change this.
That is a lot of cards.
Yeah, it was bad.
Oh
it was not good.
Yeah. I don't know if the course is still the same, but I had to do I also did it for, maybe it's the same like assignment, maybe, I don't know. But I made a game.
Douglas, I think.
Might have been the same class then. Anyways, I made a game where basically you like are spaceships and you like explore planets and there's different things. I actually it's up on Tabletop Workshop as well. All right. And we ended up making like 52 cards. It was great.
Enough with the self promotion. All right.
This is self promotion. Even if I like to click menu, and I am trying to job hunt. Leave me alone.
He's trying to shill. Let me know when you're done, Kalen. Oh, Benny put a guy in the middle.
I did.
Oh, brother!
I'm gonna take.
Okay, I'm behind.
So if a tier 2 has 1 hit of damage, do they do less damage or do they still do 2 damage?
If a tier 2 does 1 hit of damage.
So if a tier 2, like Benny's little generator here.
Yeah.
Has 1 damage on it. Does it still do 2 damage to anything that's fighting it?
Yes.
Okay.
It does still do. That's why we ended up putting in these like little markers, because it was confusing when it was just a number that would like go down.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. I'm gonna get that guy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's stalling because he knows I'm about to win, dude. He's
stalling. Buy a guy on him. 1.
All right, it's my turn.
No, yeah.
Go 1, and then 1, 2, and then one more. Okay, what can I do? What can I do?
Spending so much money.
What can I say? I'm an investment banker.
Don't like that.
Not a fan of it. That'd be fun, but I'm not gonna do that. What I'm gonna do?
Spending so much money.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6.
I can't believe this.
Is that right?
Yeah.
1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, 1, 1. That's it for me.
1, 2.
2 minutes left, Benny.
3. I'm gonna buy a speeder. 3, 4. It's this one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're a coward.
And I'll put a damage on it.
You're a coward.
And then I'm gonna buy a little guy. With that 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's only 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I don't think you can move 6, Benny, because you already moved
Oh.
4. Yeah.
No, I moved. I
you moved
2.
4, but that's 2
I
free,
moved
so you have
2,
4
so I'll
spaces.
move only 4 here. I just want to be next to my guy.
Look who was paying
You get a point.
attention. Me.
1, 2, 3. Alright, I'm done.
Alright, rapid fire. We have like a minute. Go, Kalen.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna kill this guy.
Oh no,
Oh.
he already. Well, he has 5 points. I
I'm
think
gonna
he's gonna
put-
win.
2 things on that, and then I'm gonna buy 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you just gonna summon shit? What is this?
Oh.
What the fuck?
We call that a blitzkrieg.
What are these
Wait,
developer
that's-
strats?
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. However, due to popular demand, Chris wins. So that's I hate to
That's
say
fair.
it.
I
I hate to
I
say it. I
agree.
just hate to say it. I just hate to say it.
Alright, well that was
Um,
Star Matter. That's available
that was good.
on
That was
Tabletop
actually-
Workshop. I
was
love
really
getting curb
worried.
stomped by the devs.
I was honestly pretty worried, considering we had a tabletop one, because some of them in the past have been not as put together, and it's also really hard to present. But that was genuinely a really nice, well-refined product. Well done, Kalen, and good job to your team. And if Nick Hessler is watching, give him an A. Give him give an A plus. Give him
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Go play it.
Alright.
All right, thank you, Kalen.
Alright, our next game.
I'm
that's
dragging
by
in Mitch
Steam.
in 3, 2, and
Around the
welcome, Mitch. Do you prefer Mitch or
Hello?
Mitchell?
Sorry, I'm loading
Hello?
up the game.
Oh, wait. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Okay, perfect.
Do you prefer Mitch or Mitchell?
Doesn't matter. Whatever
Alright,
is
cool.
easier for
I'm
you.
just
You
gonna
can
do
call me Mitch if you want.
This next game is called Chris Isn't Alone, which, debatable. Chris Isn't Alone is a horror comedy visual novel game where your choices have an effect on the outcome of the story. You play as Chris, a 12-year-old boy that has just come to the realization that the monster in his closet was real.
I didn't realize you were a
Monster-
12-year-old boy.
The monster informs you that they are there to kill you. You must convince it otherwise. I mean, based on my humor. This game was made by our very own Mitchell O'Brien in collaboration with Marshall Weiss, who is not here today, apparently.
Yeah, so he's not a part, like, he's not in Sheridan game design, but he's my friend, and he went to, like, a course for music, and he's a big music nerd, so he did all the
Oh,
music
okay.
for the game.
So credits to Marshall for the music.
Alright. let
Big
us
credits.
Begin. At preferences. Oh, it's a vampire game. Let me
Yeah,
text
so are you guys
these
familiar with
names.
Vampire?
I am.
Vaguely.
Perfect.
We're gonna know. That's all fine.
Yeah. Basically, for my game, all you need to do is click when you see text on the screen. There's parts of the game where it like plays itself for like a few seconds maybe.
Was this for your narrative assignment?
This was for Max's narrative assignment. Yes.
Nice. Bro, this is just
I'm
like
yelling
Five
for
Nights
you.
at Freddy's 4.
You're okay. So you're Chris. So Chris, you have to read
Dude,
the
I am
line.
not narrating this year.
Yeah,
Benny.
no,
We
you're
talked about
Chris.
this.
Excuse me.
Oh
This
my
game is called Chris Isn't Alone. The
This game
titular
is
character is
completely
Chris.
about you. Oh, actually, about the Five Nights at Freddy's 4 thing, quick. Somebody made a YouTube video, and on YouTube, the YouTube thinks the game is Five Nights at Freddy's 4. It listed it like in the description as Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
Your dad comes running to check on you. The footsteps grow louder.
Oh, holy shit! That's not what I expected.
Yeah.
Why does his shirt
You-
say God?
You okay?
I hear. Should I give Chris a deep voice or a squeaky voice?
How do you
I don't know.
feel-
He's
what do
really
you feel
intelligent,
like?
so up to you.
I hear a loud bang in the closet.
Perfect.
That's your voice now. I think someone is in there.
I'll take a look around.
Thanks, God.
I'm looking around. Looks all clear to me, buddy.
Are you sure? I really did hear something, Father.
You saw for yourself. There's nothing there. No, what? No, you
Brother,
saw
I-
for yourself. You just sat in bed.
But Father,
I know thunderstorms can be scary, but how old are you now? How old are you, Chris?
I don't want to lie to him. Come
Oh, come on, you're the smartest 12-year-old.
Bro, I don't know my age. How smart can I be?
How about a quick bedtime snack? Calm the belly demons. Do you
Oh,
want?
accept that, big time.
Okay, just hang on. I'll be right back.
Bro, I got the
So yeah, there's only
monkeys.
like 3 choices in this entire game that don't actually matter, and the snack one does matter. That's a major one.
I've returned the
Nice.
snack. It's a banana and and peanut butter and a knife
I don't want to make a comment about
Yep.
that.
for you, sir. A banana served with a jar of peanut butter. Since you're old man now, I'm leaving you a butter knife to cut out the banana. Just be careful,
Nice.
okay? Sleep tight, buddy. I'll see you in the morning. And you never saw him again.
Never see him again.
Can I? Oh,
Oh,
it's just like a monster.
That's
Oh,
that's
so
a-
the background I made completely in Blender, but then I did all the art in Adobe Illustrator, and I'm not an artist, so it's just basic shapes.
nice. Oh, it's him. That's Richard Pritchard.
Oh. Hey, Chris.
Oh
That's
my
the
god.
monster.
Hey, what's up, G?
I've got some bad news. I'm gonna kill you.
Let's go sassy. Give him the yeah right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah right. You flip off the monster. This kid's 12. He doesn't know what flipping off is.
You're brave. Or just really stupid. Are you right-handed? Are you right-handed?
I am right-handed.
Okay.
Let me floss on him.
The monster bites off your middle finger on your left hand. Oh. Oh, at least he would. You're
Oh,
well, the
no,
monster
my-
chose your off hand.
That was my good flipping off hand. Let's talk with him. Please don't kill me. I want to debate this guy, Ben Shapiro style.
That's a good idea.
Why shouldn't I?
Because someone's behind you. Hit him with the old 1-2.
Nice try.
No, there
kid.
is someone there.
I'm
There-
not
there
turning
actually-
around. You must
But
think
there
I'm
is
stupid.
there is someone there. There is someone there. Why can't we just be friends?
Who said we weren't?
Well, you want to kill me and you ate my finger.
I'm saving you from future suffering. Oh no.
You're making great points.
That's a good point. No, I agree with the monster at this point. Just take me.
I can see the future, Chris.
No more homework, Chris.
I see you.
In roughly 12 years, you are going to be at a college in another country.
Within a year, the world will be overrun with monsters like me. We have ways of multiplying. The
Bro,
gamers.
he's
Nature's
bragging about
healing
all
the
the
gamers.
bitches he bangs. He's like, we have ways of multiplying.
There's not one person that has not made that reference. Every time I see someone play, it always goes there.
We have
The
ways of
crystal.
multiplying with your mother. Oh, and the Fortnite dances on me.
What was that?
That's the
Nothing.
secret ending, actually.
That's
Clearly,
nothing.
it was not nothing.
Yeah, I think that was something. It sounded like something about a crystal.
Alright, enough of that.
Crunch. Is that... Did you just... Bro, did you just kill the
Bruh!
faces?
Of course not! Why would I kill my life's long work? I basically just put them away.
No, that's a good point. No, that's fair, actually. About what you were saying before. Make me one of you. What?
What? What? What?
Oh.
Everyone's confused.
What?
Are you... Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I made a bunch of different faces for the monster as well that
That's nice.
play depending on what's happening.
That
That's
shows
me.
us considerable amounts of expressions. That's nice. You said the world will be overrun by your kind. Well, hypothetically speaking, make me one of them. Easy.
Okay.
Don't close your eyes. No. I keep my eyes open.
You stare at the monster!
Chad.
What are you
What are you-
doing?
Staring contest, you and me. I don't know.
Come on, I don't have
Oh,
all
that would
day.
have been a good ending.
I'll have to close your eyes anyways.
Yeah, that's one of the 3 other choices that don't
But I
matter.
don't have the font?
So that's just alien language,
No, he's
or it's
speaking
supposed to be.
square. Ben, do you think you'd be fluent
Yeah.
in square?
Wow.
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
shit.
Hey, what's good? What happened? What?
I misspoke.
Okay. So.
I just cursed you.
Bro, this is like the 3rd time that's happened.
oh
Bro, he's kawaii. He ate my goddamn... Dude, he ate the banana.
Oh
Son
no,
of a-
our food.
The snack is
What?
gone.
What?
Oh, my bad.
What? You should explode in about 3
You
seconds.
You should
Oh, that's
explode
good.
in about 3 seconds. Oh woo. That's what this dialogue is.
I'm about a bus. Explode.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
You pop like a balloon.
Oh my god. Nice. Okay, so that ending track was kind of cool. That's a neat way
Yeah,
to
so
track all the
that was one of
endings.
the unique endings. So basically, there's 26 total endings you can get, and 17 of those are totally unique. So that's why there's only 17 little boxes.
Mm.
So each time
Sorry.
you get a unique ending, it'll show you.
Okay.
Speed
But
run
there's like a
through
bunch
this.
of different
Let's
ways.
do
Pardon?
schema.
Speedrun, I do want
Oh
the
right,
snack.
yeah.
Let
So
me
you
12.
can skip through text as much as you need.
Except.
But yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways to die in this game, which are just like considered the bad ending.
Please don't
So
kill me.
once you get one bad ending, it shows a little red
you
box,
get
but then
that.
that's it.
Oh, I did.
So
it.
you just
die
got a bad
again?
ending. Yeah, you just died.
12.
All right, Benny. I want this for this next time.
Yeah.
Well, except first of all, we need the snack. Why? That's what any 12-year-old would say. Just go, why?
What
That
do you
is
mean,
true.
why?
Because
Don't make me
Monsters
explain
quick
my
with the
entire
questions.
evil plan.
you have to. You got a monologue.
Nope,
Bad guy's
I
got a
won't.
monologue.
Change
Change the
topic or I'm
topic.
killing you now.
Okay. Why?
Gee.
After you tell me about your evil plan.
Since you insist, we were going to have a
Oh,
great
no.
conversation. Then once I was satisfied, I was going to take your eyes.
No, not my eyes.
Then your ears. It would have been really great if the audio cut off.
Wait,
cut out.
okay.
Now,
Oh,
button,
that's
all you can do
a
is
good
wait.
touch. That's a good touch. I should have done
You
that.
should- I think I just.
Oh, by the way, you can get the monster's trust throughout like the paths and like your actions, and then if you make it back to that point and ask him about his plan, he will tell you if he trusts you.
Oh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
So
care
you
about
may
you.
have been down certain paths before, but if different variables have changed, then the same paths will be completely different with different dialogue and choices and stuff like that.
That's fun.
There's just no like, there's no feedback to the player that you have the monster's trust,
who
which
are
maybe
you?
I should add.
Ask him who he is. I don't know. Some things are better left
And then he has
ambiguous.
superpowers. You want to see?
It's like Dark
No,
Souls.
no, 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 no. Don't, no, no, no. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Oh, I love this ending.
Like what? The super awesome power will still kill the hero no matter how much you love them. The heroes always win. This isn't a movie. This isn't a movie,
No,
Chris.
but it is a video game.
It's a video game. It's a video.
Oh!
Oh, predicted.
Roll credits, baby. Oh, you skipped past it. That's unfortunate.
No, I saw it. It said you broke the fourth wall.
Oh, I didn't.
There it is.
Sorry.
Sometimes the credits don't play, actually. I've noticed that, but I don't know why it does that. So that's the roll credits ending, where you break the fourth wall.
Nice.
You don't have to watch the credits. It's okay.
No, watch them all, Benny.
Oh.
You've dug your grave.
Oh no, we're starting them over.
Alright, don't actually watch all the credits, Benny. We only have a limited amount of time.
That's true.
Alright, we've gotten 2 endings. Alright, let's not grab the snacks this time.
No, I think we should grab the snack.
Yeah, right.
I like Kaylin's comment about the psychological warfare on the sleep paralysis demon.
Oh,
Wait, the monster ripped me apart?
I just
Bro.
ran. Except, okay,
Yeah, running probably was not the greatest choice.
Say
I'm gonna.
nothing.
Are you hungry? Oh, the dad's coming.
Oh, is
in.
that no, wait for the dad.
Oh,
Dad
man.
will
Big
know
important
what to do.
choice.
Dad will know what to do.
What's that? Oh, root.
Attack him. Yeah,
knife?
kick his ass.
Your body thought yourself and your dad killed. Hey, I
Okay.
caught the
Well,
cyan
It's a unique ending. Let's
to be
go.
fair, to be fair, I stood a pretty good chance.
Hang on, I wanna go back to that. I say nothing. Give the knife. Here, okay, fine, you can have the knife. I tossed the knife, it catches it easily. Wait, never mind, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. One of my toys fell over.
Don't tell me what to do, you old bat.
I'm not gonna stab you. Aren't you a ghost anyway? The knife would just go through you.
Dude, I feel like this ghost would be very susceptible to getting Fortnite danced on.
What? Wanting to kill me.
Probably.
Oh,
I don't think he would expect it.
I'd like to talk with my victims before killing them. We can cut through the chase. Oh no, that's okay. I'm fine with talking.
So this is a path you've been down before, but because things have changed, if you choose someone who's behind you, you'll have like completely different options and stuff. Or like he actually turns around now because you got him to trust you.
Oh, those are the faces.
Those
what's
are
that on
indeed
your
the
back?
faces.
You were those faces. Help us. The motherless to them. They're beyond saving.
Bro, that's what my back looks like. I got back knee.
I'll take
Take the
your
soul
That's
crystal.
rough.
Actually, I changed my mind.
Oh, so you just showed it to him right away.
I have a barrier. Ha.
No, kill him. Squeeze that crystal. Squeeze that crystal.
Use the crystal. So you can actually just squeeze the crystal as much as you want, just
keep
torturing the
squeezing
monster.
it. Yeah, just keep squeezing
But-
it. See how long you can do this for.
I should add a secret ending where if you like squeeze it like 50 times or something, he just leaves.
Yeah. All right, now crush it. I want to see this guy suffer.
That's not very convincing. The
That
true,
was
the
ending!
true ending.
We did it!
Nice.
You have
That's
convinced
why
me.
Chris is not alone, but Chris is a gamer.
Wait, what's the ending that's next to the true ending though?
What do you mean?
Or is this in any like proper order, or is this just?
Oh no. There's no proper order.
Oh, okay.
Like you just get endings as you play through them.
Cool.
There's a good ending that isn't necessarily a true ending.
don't know how old I am. I'll take
Read
snacks though.
text on the first screen of NUKEHECK out loud.
Why? Let me ask you.
I think
Tell
the
me
most
what you're
difficult
looking
part
for.
about
No,
creating this
it's-
game was coming up with good dialogue.
I think you did pretty
And, like,
well.
not a boring story.
Yeah, I think you did pretty well.
Thank you.
Please don't kill me. Someone's behind you again. I'll close my eyes.
I believe you've been down this path.
Yeah. Well,
I have all the paths, like a chart pulled up. Is there any you want to see specifically?
Take us down to your favorite if we haven't hit it already.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There's one where you can fake your death.
Let's do that. We got 3 minutes. Death
Okay.
faking speed run.
So you're gonna want to start over. You can choose whatever age you want, and then you're gonna want to not take the knife, or sorry, don't take the snack. Decline. And then say nothing. And then you can just proceed as you want. Fake your death. There you go.
Nice. Fortunately, I can use Star Platinum to stop my heart.
Wait, should I wait or should I get up?
Well,
No,
do you think the monster's still in the room?
Wait.
Oh, I'm on the floor now.
So that's the fake your death ending.
That's fine,
Nice,
I'll
and
just sleep on the floor.
It comes with a bonus of head trauma.
What if I
It does.
There we go. Alright, I think that's about all the time that we had for.
Alrighty, thanks for
Yeah.
joining us, Mitch.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, well done on this project.
Thank you.
Where's Joel? Anyway, you're going back to the general chat. Be gone with you.
Okay.
Be gone.
Our next game is Doggy Gotta Dance by Joel Bergen, but I don't see Joel anywhere.
We are ahead of schedule by like a minute.
That's true. But he's not online.
I gotta change the things. Look, I'm remembering to do these. He's in the Discord.
He is?
Yes. I don't know. Alex,
I
do
don't-
something.
I don't think that's him.
We don't have to do stuff. Alex should do something. That's not our job. It's Alex's job.
I'm in the All Years Discord. I don't see you. Am I dumb?
Maybe.
I literally don't see him in here. What? In the All Years Discord. Because I know I've got a light green name in the server. It just says he's not online. Do you see Joel at all? Because I don't see him.
No. He's in the server, but he's not online.
Yeah, I mean,
you're gonna, if
he's-
you are on the server, you'll need to hop into any general chat,
set
any
myself-
voice channel,
yeah,
and then we can drag you in.
if you hop into
At least we're not behind schedule. That's the good part.
he did just set himself to online though, so that's good.
Dun-dun-dun.
We're still on schedule, so there's no pressure. Oh, there he is. And hey, sorry about that, Joel.
Oh, no worries.
Welcome. We are live. All right. This next game is entitled Doggy Gotta Dance by our very own Joel Bergen, a second year. This is described as a cartoony rhythm-based boss fight where you have to dodge Doggy's dance move until he tires out. All right.
Yes.
Ben, you got that ready?
Yeah, give me. Oh,
Benny?
failed
Benny?
to load. Hang
Benny?
on.
Benny?
It said failed to load mono.
Interesting. Is this an executable?
It should be, yeah.
I can't. I'll download it again. Let me just quickly delete the old stuff I had.
Did you see the news about our after the break games, Benny?
Yes, I did. That's
Okay,
fine.
just checking.
We can update the schedule. Well, we're not gonna update the schedule, but we can pull back
Yeah.
some games. So we can end earlier.
Maybe I'll. I mean, we can play the AFK one over the break because it apparently is just running, so we can stream that. And then, oh hey, your team is the final team, so we
Yes,
can
I
just bump you guys ahead. That works. And then we can end with NUKEHECK.
All right, here it is. Doggy, you gotta dance.
Yeah. So
Alright.
small
Maybe-
schedule shift.
It may
Don't
be a
forget to
little loud,
stream.
you may wanna,
Oh my God, what?
It may be a little loud, so you might want to turn it down. Just, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's already really loud. Sorry, I got. I
Don't
couldn't hear
forget to
it.
stream to the Discord too, Benny, so I can see.
Yeah. Is there? I gotta do it on.
Don't worry, the final menu will look nicer. I think it looks plenty nice.
Aw, thank you.
Oh, this is beautiful. Your profile picture.
Oh.
Well, that's horrifying.
That's yeah, that's how we dance.
Okay.
Interesting. So was this made in your spare time this semester, or was this for a
Yeah.
project?
This was actually for our assignment 2 programming assignment. I kind of like made it a personal project and reading week and stuff, and I've kind of like, as I've had time this term, put some work into it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's I've just been trying to like, add as like much polish and stuff as I can. It's really short, but I've at least tried to polish it as much
It
as
looks
I can, I guess.
very nice. I mean, the UI is clean as hell for just a small project.
I've only just.
Oh.
Oh, don't like that.
Yeah, but that's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's
Alright, let's
I
try
was going
again.
for like 2 parts goofy, 1 part scary. That was kind of like the
Yeah.
strike I was trying to go for.
It's got there's something I can really appreciate is it's got a lot of like the really small elements of polish that I think like bigger game projects have, like just like menu UI and the nice transition from when you start, clean animations and stuff.
Well, thank you.
You know, it nails a lot of those like the small details because you put the attention into them.
Yeah,
God damn it.
I've spent a lot of time like trying my best to polish and stuff, so I'm glad it's showing.
Yeah, it's nice. The UI on the top is very nice.
Yeah,
Just-
I started off making things with 3D models, and then like, you know what? I don't really
I
want
keep
to
hitting,
use the UI system, so I just kind of modeled everything instead.
Yeah, it's nightmarish though. So is all the art your own?
It is, yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
So even the walkways and stuff, like those side walls.
Yeah, the animations, I've actually gotten from Mixamo, but all the models and the texture.
Oh, I keep doing that. I keep
Very
doing it
cool.
before. Stop! I don't want to look at this. He's so creepy.
Yeah, this is very cool and very stylish.
Thank you. It's not a super long game, I will say. Like, yeah.
Who made these sounds?
Oh, I can also take credit to that as well. Yeah, that I did all of that for better or for worse. But I think it works well.
It works. It definitely works. It's just nightmarish.
I'm glad it's getting that impression, because that's like, I wanted like overlay of goofy, but there's a little bit of creepiness, you know? Like that's kind of the perfect balance.
It's like a nightmare version of The Simpsons.
I can see that. I can see like the scrolling background. I can see that.
Benny.
Always jumping. Jumping fucks me over in games.
Yeah. Alright, so, I don't really have any questions because it's just a nice looking game in general.
Thank you, yes.
So what plans do you have, like, from here? What else are you looking to add to this game?
So yeah, this is kind of like, I'd say like 80% to 90% done. I've done a little bit more work. I think my main plans are to add a title screen that looks nicer and maybe has some volume options, which I think are needed. And I also want to have a like score kind of thing at the end. So you
Yeah.
can get like a high score and stuff. Right now it's just kind of the base game, then like test build title screen. So I think adding those like final layers of things are kind of what I want to add. But the base game itself, I've pretty much finished, I think.
Yeah, very nice. Oh, it's speeding. I did notice that the there's like a nice speed up meter. So there's a lot of, it's something I really appreciate about some games is the way that you communicate exactly what's going to happen, but not in like an overbearing way. So like exactly when it's going to speed up, exactly where he's going to go. I think that's quite nice.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Oh no. Oh.
So yeah, if you graze him, like you get really close, you'll see those green dots come out, and that will make him tire out faster, but will also make him move faster. So it's a give and take kind of thing where it's like,
Oh my, is that a phase 2?
yeah, there's 3 phases.
Oh my god.
It's,
You couldn't handle the beat.
I do think I need to nerf it a little bit. It's
Benny's just
I
bad
think
at
I
games in
no.
general,
I
so-
think the colliders are a little bit too unforgiving.
yeah, no, I think that it's the kind of thing where it's like during testing, it's like, yeah, I think this is fair, but also I have to be like, I've been playing this game for months, so
Yeah.
I definitely think you're right that like
Yeah,
it's
because
a little-
So, what's the purpose of the green bar again?
So the green bar is how long it's like his health bar kind of once
Oh,
you use
okay.
it.
And the closer you are, the faster it goes up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
so,
gotta graze him like that.
Yeah, so those
Scary.
green balls, they fill up both of those. Yeah, I was
Oh,
going
man.
for kind of like WarioWare was kind of like a big inspiration for like the
Yeah,
style as well.
I can see it. It's just a bit more nightmarish.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
This is easily one of the most horrifying games I've seen come out of Sheridan. In a good way. In a good way.
It's like I made another one for programming that I think is like a little worse than this. So like that maybe doesn't bode well for that game because this was like the goofier of the two. So yeah.
I like how the character's head turns towards where the dog head is.
Oh, thank you. That's yeah. That was one of those touches where like it should have been easy, but this project is kind of where I learned how to animate like characters with rigs and bones and that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And it was a journey.
Something I gotta learn as well. I'm planning to do that over the summer as well. Not looking forward to it.
I think it's like now that I've done it, I could probably do it easier, but I ran into so many issues and
Yeah.
so much troubleshooting. It's there's even some issues that have just like remained in the final game that I've just not been able to fix. But yeah, the head turning did not work well with animation rigging, so I had to really do some funky stuff to get that to work.
This is like, honestly, it's got more polish than some people's capstone games have,
Thank
which is
you.
pretty impressive.
Looks like someone
Yeah, this
goes
was
to the
kind of
dog
like-
channel.
This was kind of like I had the time during the reading part, right? I just had
Yeah.
I was like, hey, let's just see what I can do. Like, let's just say like I have unlimited time, right? Well, I have a week, but let's in that time just polish as much as we can and see what we can create. So like,
I can't
yeah,
imagine what you're doing over the summer. Jesus.
yeah, I'm gonna be working during the summer, so I'll have that, which I didn't have in the remake. So we'll see how much time I
Yeah.
have, but I want to try and crank out at least one more project during the summer if I can.
Yeah, it's a good plan.
Yeah, definitely build that portfolio.
For sure. This is a great portfolio piece too. It's hard to look at for sure, but
Yeah. leaves
it
an
shows you're
impression.
competent. That's for sure.
Yeah, it'll definitely leave an impression.
Yeah.
Like I can say that.
I'm lost in his eyes.
It's yeah.
Benny's on quite the run.
They're unblinking.
I'm learning how the timing works in the game.
Yeah.
Because it's
like
slightly,
a soul-
it's actually
like-
because it's slightly off metronome, so it's really throwing me off.
this is actually a Souls-like rhythm game.
Basically, yeah. It's kind of like I mean, like I was thinking it's like a mixture of like Sans Fight, but if it was like rhythm based kind of.
Oh my god.
You just gotta memorize the patterns and then like then you're golden.
Yeah, the metronome and beat is like slightly off to the jump height, so that's really that's the thing that's throwing me the most off. Because if you like if I'm like jumping on beat, it's not actually, I can't actually jump on the beat, which ruins the timing a little bit.
Or are you holding jump when you jump?
I've been doing both.
Oh, okay. Because if you hold it, you'll jump higher. That's something I should probably actually explain in the game. But that I don't know if that'll help at all. Help out at all. But yeah, that's something I forget to mention in the game, so I think I should add that.
Yeah, tutorials and like information pop-ups are one of the hardest things to nail. We saw that yesterday with what was that dinosaur game, Benny? Oh, he's focused. But yesterday, the final game that we showcased was like a really well-made, like survival horror situation. But we got stuck in the first room for like 10 minutes because the tutorial like didn't tell us how to fix a door.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a really small thing, but it's really important. So yeah.
It's because I know for me at least I find it's like the instinct is always don't put tutorials in, just let them learn how to play.
Yeah.
And that's good, but you also have to strike the balance of like, okay, what if they can't? Then they're gonna be less stranded, you know.
That's the thing that I find difficult because in my like the game production class, we really wanted a game that had zero like word communication, but you still have to teach the player how to.
It also does depend on what kind of game.
Exactly.
And what content your game is about as well.
I think because this game is like minigame format in that, you know, it's not like progressing or anything, and there's not like a story to like weave anything into. Like that, and I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But like an initial pop-up seems fine to me to like explain stuff, just because it is such a short curated experience.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think especially like if it is a shorter game, you don't have that time to like go mechanic by mechanic. I think that it's you really gotta just find what balance works for each kind of game.
Maybe look up other like infinite runners, like maybe see how Temple Run did their like tutorials or whatever. Because I mean, what am I saying? You clearly know more about I do at game design because this is way cooler than anything I've made. This is nice.
Thank you. It's you know what? I've had a lot of fun making this project, and I'm glad to hear that it's you guys like it.
I also owe Joel a ton on a personal level because he's probably the only reason I passed Douglas's class this semester because of his like hardcore telemetry, which was amazing.
It's you know what? It's happy to help out. I'm happy to help out. It was
so useful.
Yeah, telemetry is not fun to set up, and it's so I was happy to help out with that.
That was dope. But yeah, anything else you want to say about this game, or like any other projects you might be looking for?
I don't know. I think most of what I said is just that I don't know. I had a lot of fun making this game. Right now, this is just the website build. I have it as like the link is private right now. I'm hoping to have that within the next week or so as a public link. I don't know if that'll update on like the shared itch page or not.
As long as you just change the state of the itch page, as long as you don't make a new like itch page for this game, as long as you're just editing the itch page that's already on, the link will still work.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so yeah, I guess, like, as of right now, I guess you aren't able to play, but hopefully within a week or so, once I've gotten that title screen all finished up, it should be on the website to, experience,
yeah.
But yeah,
just in case you want to see Doggy's smiling face once again. Yeah. Alright, Benny's on a roll right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having to do stuff a beat and a half earlier.
Yeah. I will say, what these animations, so you said you like chose these, like you got these from a site?
Yeah, so I use Mixamo. Have you heard of Mixamo before?
No, I've not.
It's one of the most amazing websites ever. Basically, it's made by, well, it's not made by, it's owned by Adobe. You basically can upload a humanoid 3D model, and then just say, this is like the chin, this is the left arm, this is the like, leg or whatever. And it'll create a rig automatically, and then it'll give you a set of like, hundreds of animations to download from. So I just downloaded a bunch of dance animations.
Your choices are quite nice, because they move like, you ever see like, Spy Kids 1, like the weird little mascots in that movie. It's just uncanny. He just moves so creepily.
It's yeah.
He's just shuffling towards my death.
Yeah, I had a bit of an issue with it because like originally the animations were all centered on the hits because I didn't set up the footwork correctly. That's something I'll have to learn how to do next time. So I just kind of created a script that manually snapped into the ground, but his feet still don't stay in place when it comes to sliding left and right. So yeah, he does have very slidey feet. And that is.
I think that adds to it, honestly.
It kind of does. It's like I've kind of foregone explaining how he's traveling forward. It's his dance moves. It gives him powers.
I mean, it's pretty clear that whatever this thing is, it's not from the normal world. So the way it just sort of slides towards you ominously half the time.
Yeah.
I think it adds something.
Yeah, it's visually explained in the title screen, but like basically the premise I have in my head at least is that this is like the kid's pet dog, and he's watching like this dance show on TV, but the dog hears it and like decides it wants to dance, and then it becomes humanoid somehow and starts chasing him down an endless hall.
Yeah, it reminds me of like old Goosebumps book premises where it's like I left my TV on, my dog learned to dance, and now he's like traumatizing me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Just well, sure, that it's random word generator. That would be a book. Perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. R.L. Stein's like, this is genius.
Yep. So
How
yeah.
much? Yeah, you've traumatized Sean, who's unfortunately our next guest. Sweater Sam actually asked, "How did you sync it with the audio? That's so cool."
Oh, so yeah, that was a bit of an ordeal. What I essentially did is I made a script that was, it was basically a public script called Timescale, and it was essentially just a multiplier. And what I did is I gave each song an assigned BPM. For example, each song in the game is 80 BPM. I then used the timescale to get a multiply, and then just multiply the pitch of each of the songs to move them up and down. And now since that timescale is just a set float value, I could also multiply the speed of the animations to do the same.
Wow.
So I'm essentially just every frame updating the speed of both the song and the animation. And as long as it doesn't like freeze, it should stay in sync.
Joel did what most of us fear to do. He brought math into game design.
I had to get some of Nick's help for that. I had to ask some questions to figure out the witchcraft that
What a
made
legend.
this
Yes,
thing.
you couldn't.
I will say
Alright.
I do recommend using a sound design tool for future use if you're doing more sound-based stuff. Because you can brute force math it, but if it ever lags, your players aren't gonna have a good time because
That's
they'll be
true.
off.
Alrighty. I think that's all the time
Awesome.
we have. Any last closing words, Joel?
I think that's it. That's my game, Doggy Gotta Dance. Hopefully the full version's out soon. And I hope you'll enjoy it. Thank you.
All right, great. Thanks for coming in, Joel.
No problem. See ya.
Oh, this one's on.
Love that guy. All right, this next game is called For Warrior. This is by get ready for another
No, it's
impressive
for
one, 'cause this is by
warriors. There's an
Sean.
S on it.
All right, I'm bringing Sean in 3, 2, and Sean, welcome. Sean?
Hi. Oh,
Oh, there you are. Sorry, just a bit of cutout. All right, this is a game by Sean Cornish. He's a year 2. Don't want to give too much of a preamble, but Sean is one of my idols in this program. His art is incredible and his work ethic is unparalleled. This is described as a top-down action pixel game about.
Oh, do I need to hang on?
How?
I gotta grab a controller. I wasn't ready for this.
Now,
it is best played with a controller.
a little bit
I
of
have
personal
one, but I gotta go
backstory
get it. I'll be
about
right back.
this game. I'm familiar with this game because I was keeping tabs on Sean as he made the assets for this game and continually made them more and more elaborate solely so he could avoid the actual programming aspect of it, which was the main assignment.
I did actually make most of the assets like back before I came into the program actually. So like it was the summer before the program. And I was hooking them up. I spent 2 weeks on this before I got to the actual assignment.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, not making the assets, but I remember you
The
had a lot of
setup.
stuff about like making them pretty and stuff, and I was like,
Yeah.
they look so good, but
I was like,
assignment, Sean.
I really should start on this assignment.
Yeah. So give us. So your description's a little vague. So give us a bit of a preamble to this game, what it is, how it works, and what your thought process was when making it.
So, the game is about defending a town, and currently the town is just, like, the points of interest on the town are just these flags. Hopefully, eventually, I'll make them buildings in like important places that you wouldn't want to be destroyed, like a church or something like that.
Yeah.
And the inspiration behind the game was like Seven Samurai, the old Kurosawa film. So this is kind of like the minimum viable product. Well, maybe a bit more than minimum. But the idea was to make a AI that could act as your companion to play here. So in the bottom half is like the CPU character if you didn't have a friend to play with. And ultimately, I wanted to make it a 4-player game. That's why it's going to be called 4 Warriors.
There's only 2.
Yeah. Currently 2. I could just drop in a bunch more. But if you want to revive, it's right bumper.
He's crawling, Benny. He wants your help. He wants you to revive him.
How can I
Benny.
revive?
It's R1.
Okay.
By
When I'm next to
beside them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do those pickups increase your strength and stuff?
So the green pickup there is your special. I believe that is the Y button. And so that will spawn in some big chunks of earth that crack up from the ground. You can see the computers using it as well. And then we have the revive, which is the feather. It's kind of inspired by the Phoenix down. We got the hearts are your health, and the little mana potions let you use your special ability, which is X. It's just a projectile that randomly selects one of the enemies to go hit.
Very nice. Yeah. What does the 3-4 mean?
Oh, that's our timer. So you currently have
Oh.
3 minutes and 40 seconds. For some reason, it does not like zeros. I will fix that. But
It's
just
saving render space by not rendering something that has no value, obviously.
Yeah, I just added the I just added in the timer, so there's a little bit of a glitch there. But yeah, the I recently added the health bars on the flags as well, just to make sure it was clear for the stream.
Nice. Wow, you did some last minute touch-ups just for us. Thank you.
I did.
Yeah, and every asset is handmade by yourself, correct?
Yep, I made all the assets here.
There's
Just
so many
something you-
bodies on the floor. I can't get around.
If you press B, you could roll. That will probably help you get around faster.
Oh, it's like the Dark Souls of top-down
Or-
cooperative
okay, I'm not
pixel
sure.
games.
Yeah. So, I hope it's not as hard as Dark Souls, but
I've
that
just
wasn't
been
the
calling-
intent.
I've just been calling everything Dark Souls recently. I find it funny.
So there's a bit of a graphical glitch currently that sometimes your ally will die without looking like they're dead. They're currently dead, I
Oh,
believe.
Oh, it's
interesting.
because they're slow.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's cool. So, walk us through, I guess, like some of your thought process for this, because we know we for those who are unaware, this was made for I believe the AI project in our
Yeah.
programming class. Just walk us through some of your goals when you're making this. Like what your, I mean, you've already said that you kind of plan to make it like a 4-player co-op kind of thing if you continue it, but like starting out, what were the goals for this project like going into it? Did you just want to find a way to use old assets, or?
Well, I knew that I wanted. I've been focusing like a lot of the assignments have been talking about like bosses and that kind of thing. And typically, when I get an assignment, I try to think of like, well, how am I gonna make this different?
Yeah.
So I wanted to make in several of the assignments I made like ally NPCs because those interest me quite a bit. So I decided that in this one I wanted to make a kind of I had decided that I was going to make an ally NPC, but I wasn't sure what I was gonna do. And then I thought back to this game and how I was always like, oh, it's going to be super difficult to make an AI that acts like one of the players is supposed to.
Then you just decided to do it for a fucking school assignment, you madman.
So I did that. We used Node Canvas. I do not like the functions in Node Canvas. So essentially what I did is I called every node in node canvas is just calling a custom function.
Oh my god, you son of a bitch.
I'm just using it for the behavior, like
That's
prioritization.
Oh.
Um,
both horrible and beautiful at the same time.
You found one of my metrics issues. I got our level design teacher George to play it, and he
Interesting.
found a couple of those.
Yeah. So what work went into making the companion AI? Because it seems to be working pretty damn well.
Look at these bodies.
Yeah. So currently, what they do is they're first always checking to see if you're dead. So they're kind of like, is the player in danger? Do they need my help?
But you start over and die as fast as you can.
All right.
You won. And so, but they've also have a priority to attack things that are near them. So they will get a little confused. You need to get close to them if you want them to revive you. First, they always if you die, they will go find a feather that's on the map. If there are any, and if there aren't any, they go around and kill enemies to find the feather. So yeah, there's the priorities are get feather to revive them. If there is no feather, kill enemies to get them.
I think my ally is gonna die first before I die.
It's possible.
Maybe we'll get a feather first to like revive them potentially. No,
Yeah.
I don't want health. No.
Anyways, so yeah, that's the first state. What else was in that? Was this behavior tree or?
Yeah, it's a behavior tree. So going
I didn't
on.
like the behavior tree either, to be honest. I like the state machines, but I didn't like the behavior tree at all.
Yeah, the soldiers are state machines.
Okay.
So beyond that, if there are no enemies around her, she will then select all of the points of interest and go to a random one, and she just patrols until she runs into another one. And then when she's deciding whether she can attack, she checks to see if she has mana. She checks to see if she has her special, and then she picks randomly between attacking, mana, and oh, she's gotten stuck.
She's stuck on the flag. Push her off, Benny. Nudge her. There you go.
Indeed, you can nudge her.
All right, look at that. A nice little res. You know something, Sean? That resurrect mechanic functions better than the AI resurrect mechanic in Halo 5. So props to you for that, because that is more functional than a AAA product.
I didn't want it to feel like Donald from Kingdom Hearts, you know?
Yeah. Oh my god.
It was the main goal.
You gotta touch their knee.
You know,
difference between a state machine and a behavior tree. Behavior trees kind of take in a bunch of information and they make a value assessment on what they should do. State machines, you only go from current states to another state based on parameters. So they're a little bit more like restrictive.
Limited.
Sometimes you want
narrow.
that. And then sometimes you want something that's trying to take in a bunch of information.
If things have priority and you want things, so for example, if you're like an NPC that has a lot of complex things, like maybe you have attacking, maybe you have defending, maybe you have like additional support or whatever.
Resurrect
that's when you want a behavior tree, because like your attacking could mean a bunch of stuff, right? It could mean attack range units, attack like nearby units, attack enemies that are hitting my friends. And then while defending could be something else entirely. That's when you have basically special actions that require more priority and more nuanced decisions, while state machine is only the one is going between two different X amount of states. And those states are very concrete of what they do. So instead of attack, defend being multiple things, it's just you are attacking or you are defending, which is kind of like a behavior tree. It's almost all the same as well.
It's two ways of doing pretty similar things in the end.
Exactly.
And I just happen to like state machines a little bit more.
You can see on the sides, I do plan on having different characters that you can play.
Yeah, I see one. I see this character and this character.
Yeah. The guy to the left is getting a little cut off. But these the one of them it looks very similar to the other guy, so it will probably get confusing. and then there you can see a mage kind of hiding his head behind that guy. So they'll have different attacks. The mage will have like there's gonna hopefully be a bunch of different options that come from it. But I think the main thing I want to do next on this project is just make sure the inheritance is working properly. Right now, I'm like pretty amateur at coding, so I was just kind of like, let me figure out what I'm doing, and so a lot of this is like I'm reusing code in the bad way, where you're like, I will set this up and then I'll put this
And
on
then copy paste
another
it
one.
over.
Yeah, copy and paste it over.
Yeah,
So
that's when you want inheritance.
yeah, so the health script is all inheritance. Like so I was starting to like experiment with that more, and there's a lot of things that now that I've like done it, I know that could be inherited, like the way the projectiles work, and the one of the specific things is I want to make the heroes be like inheritance in the sense where I can like have a hero class, and then you kind of like can add on the information that you need for each hero that I make. So there's a lot of stuff to be done. Definitely something that
I
I'm
would
going to
look
be working on over
into
the
even
summer.
stuff like scriptable objects to make your not just because not just inheriting, but so scriptable objects will is a way of holding variables that are different. It could be sprite information. It could be help like generic variable information like floats or whatever. And that will definitely that would like help you make more interesting. It's more used for specifically like stuff like enemies and stuff, because you can just give them different health and different speeds and whatnot, and that will definitely.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
Hi, this is coding.
What's inheritance?
I've looked into this a little bit. It's definitely something I'm gonna.
There's also things like interfaces as well. So I can see that you're using like a controller as your base as your controls for everything, right?
Yeah.
So interfaces basically allow you to tie the name of the same function to like multiple scripts, so they all use the same interface. So if you have like press like action button, for example, then if you make a different hero that also has the same interface, then you can also share when you like the same control scheme. Action button will do this instead. And change.
Yeah, one of the things I got to look into is like how to set up multiple controllers as well.
Are you using default Unity, or are you using the new Unity input system?
Default.
I would take a look at the new Unity input system.
Yeah, the reason I used default was just because this was a behavior tree assignment.
Right.
That's fair. I definitely was like, some of the stuff that I was cutting corners on was like, this is due in 2 weeks.
I can't relate to that at all.
Isn't it okay?
But yeah, I think the benefit to trying this out was just like, now I know a lot of like the things that I want to do, and I'll probably start off with a different enemy and start like building up the way that I now know I should. There's a lot of stuff like I'm setting bools when I should really be calling triggers on the animators, stuff like that. That's why sometimes you see the enemies die twice. So there's a lot of learning that went in on this.
But that's sort of the beauty of this project, is that this is for your learning, right? Like that's why it's an assignment, and it's why you spent so much time, focusing on these different things to like develop about yourself. That's what you want to see with a project.
Yeah.
To me, if I were like an employer, that's something I would look for in a portfolio more than anything else. Like especially for you, because your art skills are so profound. This just shows this is what really shows multidiscipline skill to me, because it's like, I didn't know this thing. I'm gonna go out on my own to figure it out, and you did, and you're continuing to do so, which I think is like that's the hallmark of a true like Renaissance man kind of thing.
I like that reference.
I didn't know that was a reference.
No, just the phrase Renaissance.
The phrase,
man.
It's a beautiful phrase.
The goal for me is certainly not portfolio pieces. well,
Sean's
not
like, I've
necessarily
got
true.
enough of those.
I have worked as an artist in the industry.
Back in my
before.
time in the industry.
But the goal for me is to start my own company. So learning all of the disciplines is important to me, so I don't get hoodwinked in a way.
Yeah. So everyone bookmark Sean Cornish's name, and then in 2 to 3 years, look him up when he's starting a company and beg him for a job.
I mean, hell yeah, I want to work with people. So the main thing that I'm like doing here would be a portfolio piece that you would show an investor, if
Right. Yeah.
or like you could show this minimum viable product to the people at Ontario Creates to like get grant money, that kind of thing. So there is definitely still benefit to portfolio pieces. They're just a like different angle for me.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, that's also a good angle to bring up to other people, because I know myself, I've like thought about like what would I do if what good is my portfolio if I end up wanting to like make my own business and stuff. And it sounds like you've put a bit of thought into that already. So that's just a good thing to bring up to our listeners.
Oh, I thought I was gonna die. I was just slowly gathering. So might be an oversight, but like in terms of, I would probably remove the colliders off of the dead guys after they died.
Well, I appreciate this feedback. The intent actually later is to add in some mechanics to be able to grab things and place them. So one of the things from Seven Samurai was like people making barricades and that kind of thing.
Right.
So I will have to get the nav mesh working with that. But the part of the thing that you could do is you could use some of the soldiers as barricades.
Yeah, I was trying to do that earlier.
I'm really happy to see that player behavior, because it is something that I actually want. And then you'll have enemies that will be able to clear them and that kind of thing. So the goal later will be to have like more like wooden structures and that kind of thing around the town that you can grab and place in front of the spawn points to try to slow the progression of the soldiers. Obviously pretty far down the scope line. So maybe just for playability now, I will turn off those colliders. Thank you for the feedback.
Right. Well, we have about 2 minutes. Any closing words from you, Cornman? Can I call you Cornman?
Yeah, Cornman's fine. Thanks for playing, and yeah, that's just about it.
Thanks for being here with us. Thanks for showing this off. Quite nice. Nice to see a game with some polish that doesn't give me nightmares. Looking at you, Joel.
All right.
Alrighty. We're gonna drop you back in the other chat.
Yeah. Take it easy.
Thanks again for coming, Sean.
We are pretty much we are going to go on break.
So on the break, Benny, do you want to pull up the radio bubble game? Because apparently that's an idle game.
Yeah, I can do that.
So we're playing our break now. It's about 10 minutes. We'll be back at 8:30. However, one of the attendees has informed us that one of their games isn't like a real game. It's just an idle game. So we may just let this run while we take our break.
Hang on, I gotta actually.
Oh yeah, and of course, special thanks to all the people that showed up. Again, we had Star Matter from Kalen, Chris Isn't Alone from Mitchell, Doggy Got a Dance by Joel, and Floor Warrior by Sean. All great games, all really, really well made. And those are only to the selections from our year 1s and year 2s. After the break, we've got some year 3s, and then our very own Benny will be presenting his capstone project.
How do I enter? Wait. What? I'm kind of confused. We will send one message per day. Once in a while, there is.
Did you type walrus? Well, just type Benny.
I'll type in walrus. Give me a moment. I gotta reopen it. I'll type in walrus.
Oh, actually, you know what? While we do this, let me find this and then read the preamble so everyone understands it right before the break. So don't go anywhere just yet. This is Radio Bubble. All right, this is a desktop pet that is also a comment section. This is Radio Bubble by Ash Kamensky and Bryn Zvan. Wow.
All right,
They're
that's pretty much it.
Their first name and last name are both 2 syllables. That's kind of awesome.
All right, we'll be heading off for the time being.
Yep, we will return at 8:30.
Yes.
See y'all there. Bye.
Hello, we're back.
All right, welcome back. Break is over. I'm gonna give about a minute for everyone to come back.
No, they're
and
gone.
we'll get started.
They're gone. You're only talking to the VOD viewers now.
The VOD viewers. Hey, VOD viewers. If you're watching the VOD but you didn't watch the stream, I have a secret message just for you. Mwah. Just stole a kiss from you.
Can't believe this.
All right. So, but also that kiss does not go out to you who are watching live. You don't get that. So, please and thank you return that if you got it by accident. All right. So this next game is entitled NUKEHECK. This was developed by Ash Kamensky, the same person that made our little radio blob, and Max Laboda. These are year 3s. This game is described as an MMO roguelike arcade that will overload your senses and fry your brain. Here, everybody contributes to a common goal by going to hell and stealing souls, then returning to the relatively quiet base camp to talk to your pals, change strategy, fuel the nuke, or regroup. Now, I do want to say a quick warning. I'm sure it doesn't really apply to anyone here, but this game, there is an epilepsy warning on this one because there are bright flashing images.
It's already kind of pretty bad.
So if you have a problem with that, or if you just don't really feel like your iris is getting assaulted right now, now's the time to drop out of the stream.
See if I can add in a filter for...
And I'm going to be bringing Ash K into the chat in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, Ash. Welcome to the stream. You are muted right now. Oh, there you go.
Hello. I think I should mute the stream.
Yeah, you probably should do that.
Okay.
Be sure to stream to Discord as well, Benny. But yeah, so this is NUKEHECK. This is... Ash, was this made for any school projects, or was this a personal project?
So basically there were some guys that I was kind of a fan of. There were kind of publishers, kind of just advertising their games. And they were hosting a game jam, and the game jam was somewhat big in the sense that they got some people to basically back it up and like in exchange for advertising the product.
That's already a lot. That's already a lot.
Yeah, that is why there's like a flashing button that you have to hold first.
Brother, I didn't consent to that. All right, interesting. So this is NUKEHECK. So what was your design philosophy going into this? It's obviously very bright, flashy, and, you know, crispy.
Yeah, so that jam was like, they were offering basically like $500 for first place and slightly lesser amounts for second, third, and so on. And also the Parsec guys who were sponsoring it were offering $500 to best multiplayer game. And because multiplayer games are hard to make, nobody really made them other than us, so we kind of got that too.
If we have any Twitch GDS admins in the chat for Twitch Check, can we ban that spam botter in there? Thank you. Send everyone to hell, say Hail Satan. Am I allowed to say that on a live stream?
How do I?
Probably yes, but also, yeah. Okay, that is the correct line of thinking. I think I saw a stream of a guy who was like saying it like into my on stream for a while.
Oh, that's fun. That would have been a funny way to implement it. Alright. So these are all your upgrades. All these things are on the player. These are upgrades, right?
Yeah. When you right click, you can throw souls out, and when they hit one of the upgrade things, they're consumed and placed there. And also you have to like stop shooting.
Okay, so I like that the heads are the lights, and then your head like disappears.
Yeah, at the end you can like survive without one for a while until you get hit again.
Damn, that's pretty neat. All right.
Also, when you throw souls into the crystal at the center, then you can get them back to the base camp.
I see. So you can transport them back to the nuke that you're supposed to be fueling?
Who's good game
Yeah.
design?
Yeah, so the servers were like reset 3 times, I think, and now they're kind of permanently on.
Cool. Alright, so you could join this right now.
Yeah. So the design philosophy behind this was like, we basically want to win the game, but we also want to win the multiplayer side. So let's do both. And the topic for the game was fantasy overload.
Yeah.
Like the guys, they kind of like had a similar. Also, by the way, if you look into the background, you can see that the arena is laid out with spacing, and the pulse gets faster the further you're going. Also, when you're hit, the screen sometimes like tears into pieces that slide around into the tree, and like the actual like picture moves as well.
Damn. It's
I couldn't
very
see
flashy.
anything of what was happening. If I could be
It's actually
honest.
giving me a bit of a headache, to be honest.
I
It's
super
very
don't know what's
creative, to be
happening.
sure.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
so-
eyes.
Yeah, so the idea was like, I want to win this game jam, so let's do something multiplayer.
Did you guys end up winning it?
Yeah, like both categories.
Nice.
And like right now we're planning to work further with these guys. Actually, like with the like people who won the game jam and like got some kind of like prizes for it, they eventually made a like a release of a bundle for free that had all of them, and we also made the launcher for that bundle
Nice.
with like flashy effects and all that. So the idea was like to make something that is kind of accessible from the start. So like the difficulty grows like from a relatively easy one up and further. But also there's upgrades that let you buff enemies and their numbers in exchange for getting more souls or like more upgrades or something else. So you can like bump up the difficulty further if you're not feeling that this is enough.
So are the upgrades permanent or are they per run?
They're per run.
Okay.
Originally, I wanted to be like, instead of having like one nuke on the surface, to have a bunch of like these upgrades on the like in the crater, and where people could upgrade like everyone at once.
Yeah. Sort of like classic. Because classic roguelikes like Hades has this thing where you come back to the hub world and then you upgrade your stuff. But these upgrades happen in the game as they're happening. So it's like an investment of your permanent currency. I think that's kind of a neat idea.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, the idea is that you kind of have to risk it a bit to get the souls back. And like to get them back, you have to throw them back into the crystal. So the idea was to make like multiplayer cooperation, where you could, you could help other people, but you couldn't harm them in any way.
Right. So
you can only like
you don't want
you can
griefing,
only
basically.
make the world better for each other, basically.
That's nice. Yeah, I like that. I approve of that.
But that kind of was hard to make, so we ended up doing like just that. Also, this was like not tested, and it was very funny because the balance for the upgrades was all over the place. But luckily, it gets its numbers from like an online JSON file. But then it was like still very unbalanced, and basically, yeah, it was very bugged until recently, like the recent release. Oh, also, Pico 8?
I believe so.
The palette that the game is in, that the stream is, successfustly crashing into a mess because this game is really not friendly to codecs, and especially like on stream.
Interesting. So what happens when you fill up the nuke? Is that just game over?
No, it adds to the nukes build counter, which is currently 0 because it got reset.
Yeah. So this is global though, right? So when you
Yeah.
turn the game off, it keeps the same count.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's cool. It's a nice little community effort thing. I like that.
Originally, I think the team of judges were playing it in like the first few days after release, and they kind of built it twice.
Nice. That's 2 nukes.
Yeah, but like it was really fast and sudden.
We're not turning this off until you've built a nuke, so you better get started.
Oh no, sorry.
I don't
It's
know
probably not
what's
gonna
gonna
happen. Oh, also, because you know, like maybe some people will have objections to like the thing of saying "Hail Satan" to go to hell.
I think it's funny.
Yeah, but basically, there are other things you can say. Some of them wholesome, some of them just profanities. That will also send you to hell. I don't know why I send people to like to hell for saying wholesome things. But yeah, I kind of regret doing that. I consider just removing it from the game. Hey, Hail Santa works.
Do that. Do Hail Santa.
Okay.
You'll get a Christmas hat, Benny. When you play, you'll get a Christmas hat. That's confirmed. There's no Christmas hat.
There is no Christmas. Yeah. Also, all of the assets are like impact from characters that are just like Creative Commons stuff.
Yeah.
This is Creative Commons too.
I didn't expect you to take a real life picture of a giant Jose and slap it to me.
It's I think it's like some brain model, some other stuff, escape, and also I think like it's just auto leaves with like their wings. Also, it's like it's pulsating at like in real time.
What? I can't hear anything. It is kind of loud.
Benny!
Oh, also, upgrades affect like everyone currently playing, so also, like I thought it was kind of nice in games like Dukrock, which also, also big inspiration for this. Like a bunch of people just go into dangerous place and like take something and go out. Not a very
I've shut out souls.
honestly, that's also like the model for Payday, so you know.
Yeah. So what happens if you join a game? Because when you say Hail Satan, you go into the game that's already in progress, right?
It's like no, you go into like a separate room with everyone who's currently in the circle.
Right. So it's instance based. So you all go into hell. Cool.
Yeah. So because we didn't really like want to host a bunch of heavy servers and like
Yeah.
a bunch of effort. Instead, I think my friend hosted like a beacon server with like his student tokens or something. And what it does is like it sends, it hosts the hub, which is super cheap, and then it sends one of the players, like the one who says the words, is I think the one who hosts the server for everyone else who's in the circle.
Gotcha. Okay, and then real quick, since we have a bit of time left over, I think Benny's eyes have taken all they can.
Yeah.
Do you want to quickly talk about your radio bubble, really quick, if Benny wants to pull that up? Because we do have a bit of time that you can talk. Excuse me, that you can talk about that if you'd like to.
Oh, yeah. So there was like an event hosted by some guys in Australia, I think from like one of the Melbourne universities in like game design. Anyway, they have a program where they do a game every week in a course, and the guys were like, "Well, let's do the same thing, but like for other people, and like you can just join if you want to." And then you make a game every week with a specific topic, and then everyone plays it, and next theme is announced, and you know.
So what was the theme for this, and then what? Because we were having trouble getting it to like fully function. So what's the like intended function of the game?
So yeah, the let me check this was the second week, and the theme was ritual. So we wanted to do something that you can do daily, and this bit is like you can send a message daily, but like they accumulate, and then you get one every few minutes. The idea is that you can name a station, you can send a message out, and then you can decide if you want to tune into a specific frequency. So if someone has messages that you like that they put out, you can like tune into that. But also like the starting one is randomized.
Interesting. Okay, so does it use actual radio frequencies, or is it just contained within the little game you've made?
It uses Google Forms. The answers go into a Google Sheet, and from there, an API that a friend of Brun made gets it into the game engine and displays it to you.
I see. Okay, that makes more sense. Because I was thinking
It is
that
a
we had to actually
terrible way
have
of
like
doing
a.
things.
It makes sense. I thought you actually had to tune into like a local radio or something.
Oh no, no. But like yeah, that is a common thing that a lot of people ask, and like yeah, I get why you would think that. Yeah, and, like for this game, I think me and Bryn were like, yeah, let's collaborate, and then we didn't, and then he was like, let's collaborate, and we didn't, and then he was like, okay, well, we're both doing this thing, so we're kind of like guaranteed to actually like make something together this time.
Right.
So, and then we waited till it was like 5 hours till completion of like the jam.
That's how it.
And
That's
yeah, and
when the
also
best work
because
is
they're
done.
Australians, it's like 4 a.m. EST, so that also fun. And like at Wednesday.
Alrighty. Well,
Yeah.
final things to say, Ash. Anything else to say on these projects before you dip out?
No, not really.
Alrighty.
Honestly, yeah, just I guess for NUKEHECK is that kind of just started my obsession with just visual effects and shaders after that, and it only got worse over time.
Alrighty. Alright, cool. Well, thanks for joining us, Ash, and thanks for showing off both of your games. Those are both very cool.
Oh, thank you.
And since we squeezed both of those into one time slot, we'll be skipping a bit ahead to our final session.
It's me.
It's Benny.
I get to show off my game.
Thanks for joining us, Ash. We're gonna kick you out now. Alright, bye.
I can't get the proper font for this, but that's fine.
Alright, left.
This is
Alright,
Snow. You want to read the blurb?
Yeah, let me do this. Do you want the honors?
No, you can read the blurb. I've
Alright,
already
this
read
is
the blurb several times.
Snow, spelled S-N-O, an avalanche adventure. This was made by a group of fourth years: Benny Chung, Eric Vanderhorst, Ethan Davis, Shannon Umerez, Zach McLeod, and Amelia McLevy. McLevy?
Yeah.
Whatever. I shouldn't say whatever. I'm not going to get your names right. Even if you have like the whitest, most Caucasian name, I will mess it up. I am sorry. Snow is a 2D/3D exploration game where the player learns how to navigate a mountain safely. Avoiding avalanches, analyzing snow, and wayfinding are all important to get around the mountain. Interact with various townsfolk around the mountain to learn all you need to know. Alright, Snow, heyo.
I gotta set up streaming to you, first of all.
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Okay, Benny. So, maybe you should get on that, I guess. I don't know.
Alright, this is Snow.
Nostalgic for me.
You don't have to look at the credits. You just write out the credits. So, I'm on controller right now, but it's also usable on keyboard.
Nice. You broke it.
No, I didn't. This is how the game is played. It's a 2D game, but we're in a 3D world.
Oh, I see. I like that. You know, I did something similar for my portfolio. Obviously, I didn't make my portfolio to get into the school. I designed it a 2D game that was like this. I didn't make it because I was just a little scrub. But this was the idea I had. Love the background. Those trees are gorgeous.
Yeah, so those are all... most of this is a terrain tool. So Ethan, our level designer, managed to find a really amazing tool that we use for most of our construction of our mountain, which you'll
Nice.
see more of when we get into the main game. But this is just the tutorial area.
So how long would you say this game is in total?
In terms of how long it took, or for gameplay.
Well, I know it took you guys a year to make it total.
Yeah.
It took your whole 2 semesters. But like the gameplay, like how much of this have you made? How many, I guess, paths have you made? You know, that kind of stuff.
Well, if I can get the map out, then it'll be clearer.
Bro, you got avalanched on.
Yeah.
0 degrees Kelvin? Was that a pun, Denny?
I did not do the writing. I'll say that.
Wait, this is the same plot as Celeste.
Is it?
Nah, sort of. There's just a mountain.
So we have a couple tools. So the first thing, I don't know how much. Oh, it's really weird to need to explain the game. So Snow is it's an education game. So part of our goals, our own design challenge for the Red Cap Stone was to teach you the things that will happen on a mountain. So some of the stuff. So we've got these this journal, which includes both the quests that we have in the game as well as like the different facts that you have that you can go and collect. Let's go talk to you.
Have you ever... There's this old, like, sort of Flash game, called, I believe it was, So there were these old, really old games called Treasure Mountain. Have you ever heard of those?
Maybe.
These are like old DOS games that are very similar. There was one I played in elementary school. It's one of my faded memories. This very similar to this. I mean, obviously not as good because it was like for the Super Nintendo and like really, really poor. But it was very similar, and I wonder if you were inspired.
I don't think we looked at any of those kind of games, to be honest. I'm trying to remember what of our initial inspirations. We had inspirations for aesthetics and like educational and like exploration types of games, but I don't think we looked at those kind of DOS games.
Well, that's what it reminds me of, and so you can't change my mind. Although it is gorgeous. So, how did the pathfinding end up working? How did you make it so that you can just hold right and the character will loop around
so
the
our
mountain
coder, initially our programmer Zach made, he built the spline system, and the spline system basically, don't ignore those trees popping in and out, and basically our spline system, we have different paths that basically make these areas into 2D planes essentially, and then the player is locked into those paths, and then they can only move left or right according to the player, according to the path.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, and this also works with a bunch of the camera angles. If I like walk back to around this part, you'll get a nice little sweep around the mountain.
Mm-hmm. Did you take any inspiration from any like particular like nature, like, you know what I mean, like any like national parks or like whatever?
You know what, I'm not too sure. I remember Ethan has made a bunch of different prototypes of what he wanted the mountain to be. I wasn't privy, not that I wasn't privy to, but it wasn't part of my job description, so I didn't really know.
So you were slacking.
No, that's just not my job. You'll learn. Alright, we can go fix the ski lift now and get to the actual mountain.
Damn, you fixed that really fast. You must know your stuff.
I know, it's almost like I've had to play this game several times. So here's one of our first facts that you get after you talk to Ox, which is 90% of avalanches are triggered by the victim. An avalanche is triggered to make sure to find a safe and stable spot in order to keep safe. You can tell when an avalanche has already been triggered by looking at any damage like fallen trees or other debris. And we just have a lot of those different tidbits. We want to really make sure that players are learning in a mostly non-intrusive way, But
Yeah.
also, if they're consistently interested in like learning more, then they have the opportunity to do so.
How much does that correlate to direct like gameplay? Like, are there areas that you can trigger another avalanche in this game as like a fail state if you aren't paying attention to like signs?
Yeah,
or whatever?
there is. If I can find it. Oh, that's it.
Like, for instance, if you start walking too fast next to some fallen trees, is it like, you weren't paying attention?
Yeah. So, right there. Do you see that?
Yeah.
That's one of the danger avalanche areas where you can see the trees have fallen over.
There's a
My
log
controller's
there,
being
Benny.
weird, so I had to switch to mouse and keyboard. Which all the UI does change accordingly too.
That's nice. Call that accessibility.
It is accessibility. That was one of the earliest things I worked on, because like we should make this accessible for controller and keyboard, because one of the things that we had to do was prepare for Level Up this year, and so we went in person to XP Summit, which is where Level Up was happening. So we had a booth and stuff where we showcased our game. Also, I can't read chat right now because
It's just Sean. A lot of praise being heaped on you from Sean.
there. If you can hear, there's also voice acting on the which is what I did sound design
Yeah.
for it.
They go ho ho ho. They speak a sim language.
They do. So I can dig up some snow. So this is one of our first really important moments, and like real ass avalanche stuff that you do. So that's not the right thing. So one of our things that we have you to do. Oh, I don't know about that yet. Here's planting your route. So snow has layers of hard and soft snow, and you dig out a section of snow, you can look at the layers when stuff are sandwiched in and you have like soft layers in between. That's when it's dangerous. So if I open up the journal again, and you get this real life cross section, then you can get an explanation. And we also have analyzing snowpacks in real life. So we have a lot of this kind of information in here that tells you what our real life, our mechanics in the game, and what we use as real life.
Neat. That's pretty. See, when people tell me that they want to make their game like educational, I always sort of like cringe on the inside, because normally what that means is just making a game and then throwing, just like throwing fact cards at you in between like what the actual game is. So I'm really personally impressed, which is why I've been asking so many questions, to see that like the knowledge you're putting in here, the information you're trying to teach the player about real world stuff directly comes into play for like gameplay mechanics. It's not just snow walking simulator with avalanche facts every 30 seconds. Like that's the mechanics are related directly to like real world stuff that's important to learn. I like that. I think that's good.
Yeah, one of our primary things that we want to make sure to do, and we needed to keep it free flowing. So our whole premise was we have to make sure that the player wants to explore, and that if they explore without like checking the surroundings, and there are going to be consequences. There isn't too much in this area because this is what we had time for, and what we scoped for was just the tutorial area. So this is just going to teach you all the different tools that you're going to get. And you can pick up these bits of wood as well.
What do those do, by the way?
So they help you. It's our progression. So if you look over there, there's something I can fix over there, like the ski lift, and that helps you block progression and also unlock some cool stuff. So
it's like a Metroidvania. It's like Dark Souls.
Let's see. So here's another one that we have, and it's this slope meter, and it basically tells you what angle the snow, and we have this when you hit like a core. Actually, I don't know what I need to read. Slope angles. You would think a steeper angle is always more dangerous, but it's not the case, because if the slope is too steep, then it would have already fallen. If it's too like obtuse or like not steep, then it won't fall. But things right in the middle have a chance of falling because it has a lot of potential energy in there. Let's go to.
So how was this programmed? How was that leveler sort of programmed?
what? Like these? The
Well,
journal?
yeah, no, not the journal, but like, how does it keeps track of what the slope of the ground you're on is? Correct?
Yeah, so we have
That's
a lot
really
of we have a
interesting.
lot of math in it. It measures the angle of the spline that you're currently on, and just does some like mx plus b slope math to calculate the slope, and then that rotates this accordingly to the rotation.
Very neat. Why'd you need rocks to repair that log cabin?
Don't worry about it. It was part of that was specifically part of our progression where we there was a soft lock where you could spend your resources to fix the bridge, and then you couldn't unlock the rest of this area, which is you unlock the climbing, which allows you to open up the rest of the area.
Interesting. Whoa.
Yeah, so
Hey,
part
isn't
of
that
it
dangerous?
kind of, but this is some of our magic circle of like suspend your disbelief sort of stuff.
Oh, fair.
Let me guide you to another sightseeing location. I'll get you to the bridge in a bit.
You do have 10 minutes. Oh my god, it's Breath of the Wild. Yeah, so Sean is asking, what inspired the direction for the 2D and a 3D environment? What inspired that?
So part of it was technical limitations. So to start with, we didn't have a team of really our primary artist Eric, wasn't really a 3D modeler. He was more of a 2D artist, and he wanted to do 2D art to prep for his portfolio. So that was one of our limitations, was to do 2D art. When we settled on the idea, we were finding it difficult to find out how we could make this kind of game within a 2D world space. So we took some inspiration from stuff like Paper Mario and like other 2D within 3D games like Fez and stuff, like the rotating and like rotating the entire map in your 2D space to take inspiration. And then we had a brief prototype where we had the spline system working essentially, and having a 2D character working in a 3D environment, and that seemed to work really well, and it fit our limitations. As we went on though, the 2D art isn't as substantial as I think Eric wanted it to be, simply because we ran out of time and we had to shift jobs here and there because of some team health issues.
Very calming, Benny. This is very
Thank
tranquil.
you. I made the music and I did all the sound and audio. Yeah, part of the reaction that we wanted from players is just to be able to immerse themselves in the mountain climbing experience. Like you may want to, like most players might want some kind of progression. That's where like the fixing the mountain comes in. But we also wanted to make sure that the player had something else that they could look forward to, like looking at the sights of the mountain. And the mountain is really detailed. It's detailed enough that it lags the crap out of computers.
Yeah, something I can appreciate is I love games where you can sort of see there's like a very clear presence of like areas that you're going to go to. Like you can look in a distance and be like, I can identify a path that will take me there. And I think this game does that very well because of all those like really nice binocular vantage points.
Yeah, I can like look at this binocular. Oh, not here. Okay, here.
Where?
Here's one right here. It tells me.
Yeah, there's the brig.
It's the brig. I think I have enough wood to fix the brig. So let's go.
Can
fix
you
the brig.
cause an avalanche to get down to the bridge faster?
No. So that's dangerous.
Well-
so if I stand like around here,
What's the deal?
so that's pretty dangerous. But right now this is pretty safe. It's soft on heart, so I don't have to worry about it too much. And the logic behind that is that if you have like a weak layer of snow in between like a chunky ice, it has a higher possibility of sliding. Oh, the snow's kind of thick.
I actually wrote the handbook on avalanche safety. That was actually me. Very few people know that about me.
Right. We should have consulted you more.
Well, you could have, but it seems like you guys did an okay job, so.
Actually, that was one really interesting. Like actually speaking, during our first semester, we actually had an avalanche expert come talk to us when we were in the process of making our game. Our mentor got in touch with an actual Avalanche expert before the Avalanche season started, and we talked with them, and they confirmed a lot of the stuff we were doing was like, hey, this is accurate to what like Avalanche is actually do, and the whole time our mentor was like not believing that we could make a game out of this.
Yeah, don't want to be wrong about that.
But the moment we finished our meeting, it's like, okay, you guys could definitely make a game, but you might have too much. We had the scope down, because originally we had saving people as as something that we want to attain, and a bunch more like progression based stuff. Like you unlock more tools to unlock more areas to explore, but we weren't able to do that because it was getting wildly out of scope already.
Yeah, that tends to happen.
So I can fix this bridge.
Whoa, you did that really easily for a single person.
Yep.
Oh, I see what you mean about the soft block, because the intended path is to go up and around to gather all the resources.
Yeah, there's a lot of resources that you have to collect to climb. So part of the issue early on when we were playtesting a bunch was that people were soft locking themselves, and Ethan found a way to and made sure that the cabin were only rocks, so that you wouldn't get soft locked. Oh, I didn't get the quest from him. That's fine.
Cleared it as you got it, baby. All right, so 5 minutes left. Any shoutouts you want to give? Any last remarks you want to make on this game? And how did Level Up go?
XP was really fun. We got a lot of networking. I will say, if you're considering doing Capstone, when we were showing off our game, a lot of people, because a lot of games that you'll find fall into like certain archetypes, the more popular. But one thing that was really eye-opening to me was that every single time I started a conversation with someone in the industry, I started with, I made a game about Avalanche education, and they were instantly intrigued about what the heck that we made. So if you're gonna like go and like start talking about especially when you're doing Capstone, when it's like a year-long project, and you're talking about it as a student and talking to people in the industry, talk about your game. If your game is like weird and like tickle something in that doesn't really make sense to the person you're talking to, that's a really good like a starting point. Like another game that was in our Capstone year was, it's a game about old man with long necks. That was the premise of the game, and that's really weird. That's a really good way to start a conversation, to have weird premise games.
It's important to have a hook.
It's important to have a hook. Yeah.
Speaking of, Hook is a great movie with Robin Williams. You should all watch it.
But yeah,
any final shoutouts to your team that you want to give? Again, this was not Vinny's like sole project. This was also made by a group of fourth years: Eric Vanderhorst, Ethan Davis, Shannon Umerez, Zach McLeod, and Amelia McLevy. So this was a team of 5.
Yeah.
5 or 6.
Ooh, sorry.
I can count.
Yeah, that is 6. So I did sound design, did some game design, and I did a bunch of the programming. Ethan was our level design artist, and he did a lot of our the whole mountain, and like did a lot of playtesting. Zach did a lot of our early programming with the spline stuff. Amelia was our primary researcher. She brought us the idea about avalanches, and then she made an entire mural board of information that we constantly use to make sure that our game was like factual. Shannon was our project manager, and she also did a bunch of the UI art. And then Eric was our 2D artist, and also did a bunch of the narrative stuff and writing. And then I did also some quest construction and things like that. Yeah. This game is available on itch. We have a design. We have a design video. Hang on, that I could maybe pull up. Oh.
Well, you've got 2 minutes to show that off.
That's exactly the amount of time that the design video will be, if I can find it, which would be really helpful. Press kit. No, I can't find it. How sad. I can't find it. I can't find it in the little time that we have. Anyways, let's go see if we can trigger an avalanche.
Yeah, go get caught in an avalanche, dummy.
I had to walk there.
How far is it, Benny?
Not too far.
How far is it to the avalanche?
It's on the other side of the mountain.
Oh my god, Benny.
But we're gonna curve around the mountain, and we'll be on the other side.
Oh my god. Oh, double black diamond.
Yeah.
I've done one of those. It was scary. Blacks are frightening. It's just like you're like one fuck up away from death when you're on a double black diamond.
Yeah. You can see
For
that.
people
Can
who
you?
know-
If you can see the slope meter, it's freaking out, and we're slowly.
No, I'm sure it's fine. I don't think anything bad will happen. Hey, check the snow real quick.
That's pretty bad.
Whoa, hard ice on soft ice. That makes for a nice slushy. You know what? They don't tell you this, but the hard ice with the soft ice on the bottom, that's the optimal snow for slushy. So you should always run towards that.
We're seeing the telltale.
Oh, dude,
signs.
did the music? Oh, I thought the music cut out to be ominous.
No. I was originally gonna do that, but then I decided not to because then it
There's
would
a-
be too obvious to the player.
Yeah.
Because you're not gonna hear your playlist suddenly stop because you're not gonna hear your playlist suddenly stop if you.
Benny, you killed not only yourself but everyone on this blessed mountain.
Yep. All right, that was our game.
About to die.
Sorry, I gotta flick through a bunch of stuff.
While my headphones are still active, this has been our second annual live streamed game showcase for Sheridan. Like Sean said, great work to everyone involved. Some better work than others. I'm just kidding, but only one of these games will haunt my nightmares, and it was Joel. That's all I'll say. Joel's game, the Doggy game.
You're gonna like go to sleep later tonight. and it's just gonna
Eventually,
be-
I'll forget all of these games, be it due to old age or simply the passage of time. But I think that dog's smile will be with me till the day I die. Great work, everyone, and especially to those that did not submit, whether they feel that they weren't confident in their product or their product wasn't done. Hopefully, the games that you saw today will inspire you to, if not work on the projects that you haven't finished, submit the projects that you have, because
Do the
we
cool
want to
stuff.
see them. We all want to see them. There's no bad
Do all the
projects.
cool stuff. And if anything,
Yeah.
it's always a good way to like digest. If you haven't done like a full postmortem or whatever, it's always a good idea to just like digest your game and like talk to someone or like hear someone talk about your game that hasn't been working on your project for a long time, just to get different different insights. Getting
All
lots
right,
of feedback is nice.
And with that, that is this semester and this year at Sheridan officially done. This is the last GDS thing and the last game design thing that we
Yeah.
have for the semester. So great job, everyone.
Yeah,
Uh,
I won't be here in fall.
Benny's gone.
I'm gone after this. It'll only be
This
Chris
is-
plus I don't know someone else. We'll
If I
see.
even decide to keep streaming.
No, you're gonna have to. This is tradition now. You
Uh,
can't escape. You have to.
But
you have to live
special,
this life.
yeah. A lot of thanks. Remember, if you missed anything, you can check our VOD on our GDS channel. That will be going up within the next week at minimum. We'll have Kaylin on that. Should be up soon. And yeah, we hope to see you all. I mean, except for the fourth years.
No longer.
This will be yeah.
Soon, I will no longer be a fourth year.
Well, we'll see you all after the summer. Hope we all have a very productive and fun summer, and I'm looking forward to the games that we see in the next showcase because of it. Great games all around. Really happy with the turnout this year. Great job, everyone.
Really be poking you to do it in person. You can probably use the playtesting room, and you can
No.
see someone play. It'll be fun. It'll be funny.
One sec, my headset actually literally died in the
Yeah,
middle
but
of
you
these
can
closing
go.
statements.
You can buy
Oh
a
my
new
God.
headset with our streaming money that we have. That totally exists.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. All right, yeah. Well, we joked about it yesterday, but yeah, in person for this is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to the creative games that people have and the creative ways that we have to play them, and actually not just streaming it to people and actually letting people get their hands on them in our labs a little bit better.
You'll most likely be doing what we traditionally did as game crawls, where we had basically every single game would set up 2 to 3 lab computers, and then people will play the games. We'll do a stamp collection. It'll be great.
Stamp collection, that's cool.
Yeah, you basically
Like a little passport book.
Yeah, if you go and visit the game, then
That's
you
cute.
go like, yes, I played your game, and you get entered into a raffle. You could win a $20 Steam card. That's what people won before. We'll do our Wii Tennis. I guess Nintendo.
Yeah.
Not Wii Tennis. I guess not Wii Sports anymore. Nintendo Switch Sports tournament. Or we could probably still do Nintendo Switch Sports.
I think we'll probably do Wii Sports. That sounds better. I don't really care about Nintendo Switch. Anyways, this concludes our final stream of the year. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for presenting. We'll see you all next year. Have a great summer, everyone.
I've been Benny. I've been joined by Chris, who's been talking at you.
Screaming into your ear holes for hours at a time since 1997. All right, fellas.
Goodbye.
Bye.